You kind of had to make records like that.
Right.
What happened?
You mean going forward?
Well, y'all made records. It was a wave of consciousness. Because at that point, you wasn't wearing no gold chains either, right?
I still don't wear gold.
All right, so
it's a holdover from my Muslim days.
I wear my chain and stuff, but I wear. He'll get one and give it to me. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, like I remember you was like, but you was wearing, was it silver?
Silver,
silver.
Wearing,
okay, yeah, silver's still expensive too.
Yeah.
But you wasn't wearing no gold. You had a silver rope too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So y'all did this South Africa record, and then you had like the Jungle Brothers, you had BDP, you had Poor Righteous Teachers, you had all these groups, and this is pre-Brand Nubian.
Right.
Consciousness was alive and well in hip hop.
Right.
It was a lot of lessons about history, black history, being taught in hip hop.
Right.
What happened to hip hop where nobody gave a fuck about teaching, learning, and that shit was whack to be preachy in hip hop?
I think it was this. I think that hip hop, if you want to call it preachy, the consciousness in hip hop is a New York consciousness.
Okay.
No disrespect, you might have had flurries of it coming from Philly, Jersey, Chicago, maybe, but it's a New York consciousness. It's guys that grew up on Clarence 13X Smith and Malcolm, and we, certain
Harlem. It's really Harlem.
It's really it's almost a Harlem consciousness,
Yep. Mm-hmm.
right? So when the music began to expand to other territories, you wasn't gonna have that. Mm-hmm. You're gonna have somebody rapping that eat hog maws maybe every week. You understand what I'm trying to say? Like, it's different now because it's their expression. So, when you think about East Oakland, when you think about Houston, when you think about Miami, they was gonna have their expression, same art form, rapping, but their expression of what was gonna happen. And what ended up happening was when they began to express their views was different than our views. We started off as a group of MCs and DJs and all of us that we started off as a group of MCs and DJs that we had the idea that we wanted to tell, all the truth that was going on and those influence that we might have had, whether it was 5% Muslim, Metu Netta, whatever. We wanted to try to express those things. In those other territories, those things barely existed. So now you got these guys just talking about what it's like to live in Houston or what it's like to live in LA with gangs. And so they called it, if you remember, they tried to call it reality rap.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But we later on it got coined as gangster rap, but they tried to call it reality rap. That's what ended up happening. Is that once they began to express themselves, like me and D used to always say, most of the country is country. Me and Delight used to say that all the time. We say, yeah, you got a few sophisticated cities like New York, maybe Chicago, but most of them, LA country.
Yeah,
LA is all Alabama and Mississippi. So LA real country. You know what I'm saying? So once that, it's more them than it is of us. It's more of those fans, even though New York is a very populated place, it's more of those fans than it is of our fans. So once those guys started getting fans, it's turned into something totally different because now it got into the black colleges. Mm-hmm. We don't have a bunch of that going on up north.
Yeah, but how do we get from righteous to just ratchet?
Well, they was ratchet already. Those guys that come from, and this big up to all my peoples, and y'all know I love 8-Ball. Y'all know you can look at my digital footprint and see that. But when you start getting with guys that coming out of Memphis, guys coming out of Mississippi, guys coming out of certain part of Louisiana, not in particularly New Orleans. New Orleans is included in that, but I'm talking about all those surrounding areas. That's ratchet. Mm-hmm. If you ever lived in those wards, that's ratchet.
When you seen Juvenile oily and shit,
I'm
right?
just saying that's right. That's okay. The way they live. So when they began to talk, they wasn't going to talk like Mel talk. They wasn't going to talk like Daddy or talk like Kane talk. They were going to talk a little different. And I think that that's what happened. And then for whatever reason, sad to say but true, the impression of little kids on the music. See, I was one of the first people to jump out even on CNN and talk about the parental advisory stickers. We were all for that because we knew a few, and Stet didn't curse a lot, but we knew a few of our brethren was going to go off. And we didn't want to hear them not go off because we liked what they saying, cursing or no cursing. So we were all in agreement of the parental advisory sticker. What they did beyond New York with the parental advisory sticker was almost as an attraction to little kids.
Yeah.
Because little kids now wanted to hear people curse. I always say, man, people always say, what happened? You want to know what changed rap?
Go ahead.
One thing, the Sony Walkman. Conversation over. Prior to the Sony Walkman and putting things in your ears, we played our music outside.
For everybody.
And we would play Heavy D and Stetsasonic when our parents was getting off work. And then when they left, we could put on something else. But even when we rhymed in the street, I remember rhyming in the street, ladies coming home. I'm talking about we got equipment out there, bass bottoms and scoops and all that. The lady come, either we quiet or we might even turn the music down until she go back upstairs. Because everybody had to share. Yeah, with some instances on the bus where the bus driver stopped and they had fight with the bus driver because there's box in the back. Yeah, we had a few, but we all had to share all our music with each other. The boom box is whatever, like in superhero movies.
The Radio Raheem boom box.
The damn boom box. The Walkman is the supervillain.
Yeah.
And that supervillain won.
Yeah.
Because we no longer play our music outside for anyone to hear. We play it all in our ears, and it's become what I call the new cigarette on the playground. Now kids, and they used to smoke cigarettes and hide them and come back and smoke cigarettes on breaks, and that made them feel a little grown. Now it became hip hop. So now a little kid, 12 and 13, is friggin' cursing.
Yeah.
And maybe the parents don't even know because it's all in the ear.
I remember Schoolie D, when I heard him curse, I was like, what the?
Yeah.
And then when Slick Rick said, and with your wrinkled pussy, I remember my grandmother yelling, turn that shit off. Just that one word.
Yeah.
The biggest debate in hip hop.